Clemson's X Factor is back at it again, and we'll talk about it right here on Locked on Clemson.
You are Locked on Clemson, your daily podcast on the Clemson Tigers. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Tiger fans? Morgan Thomas here, Clemson fan, Clemson grad, host and producer of Locked on Clemson, part-time host and producer over on 105.5 FM The Roar. Thank you so much for making Locked on Clemson your first listen of the day. We're part of the Locked on Podcast Network, your team every day, and big salute out there to my everydayers. You know how we do it here on Locked On, exclusive Clemson content Monday through Friday, every single week. And if you're new to the show, well, welcome in. I hope you enjoy the show. 75% of my viewers are not yet subscribed, so make sure you do that. What are you waiting for? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You will never miss another episode because that is key. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is just around the corner. Visit FanDuel at the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. Wow, we have a lot to talk about from the post-scrimmage press conference with Dabo Swinney. This was their second and last scrimmage of the fall, because now it's time to take a little bit of a rest. They're going to have a little bit of recovery, and then they're going to get right into it, ready for prepping for the LSU game, the first game of the season. Only like 2 weeks away. Isn't that crazy to think? This weekend is the last weekend of no college football, because the 23rd is the start of like week 0. So we got a lot to talk about. And I'm telling you, Clemson's X Factor is back at it again. Adam Randall, the wide receiver that is now a running back and is just lighting up the football field as he's out there. He's not just filling a spot. I've been telling you this. You may or may not have been listening to me, but I saw it with my own eyes. He is not just filling a spot at the running back position. He is an X factor. He could tilt the momentum and the scoreboard in the direction of Clemson and never look back. Clemson's offense is going to be better because Adam Randall is now at the running back position. And he's one of those guys that just needed the ball. He just needs the ball. He just needs to be appreciated. He just needs to get opportunities. At the wide receiver position, we know on the outside it wasn't happening. And it was unfortunate that it just didn't work there in his original position. But that doesn't mean he's not talented. After missing some practice time earlier this week, we got a little bit nervous. We saw on some of our friends' websites that he might have been dealing with some injury. It was just a minor one. He returned for the second and final scrimmage today and exploded with multiple big runs, including a 50 to 60-yard burst on his third carry. This comes after... he only had 44 yards last season as a running back, because he didn't really try it until the end of the season. And now we're looking at making big chunk plays like that in one carry. He's in practice already doing better than what he did in entirety of 2024. Small sample size, I know. But I'm telling you, this guy is electric. He is going to be a game changer. He's going to be an X factor. Oh, yeah, he can just leak out in the outfield and be that pass-catching running back. Yeah, that he can do that. But he also really does look like a running back, like a traditional running back, like close to 240, 6'2". He's a force to be reckoned with. And he just knows how to play football. And that's the thing, is he's got talent. Was he the best outside wide receiver? No, we know that. But can he be a guy who can shift things around and capture momentum and convert on third down or have a big play? Yes. I truly believe it. And I've had a lot of people say, well, Morgan, I don't know how I feel about him being running back number one. Well, you don't need to feel about it. I'm telling you how you should feel about it. I'm telling you that it's going to be okay. that you can put your trust in him. Dabo's put his trust in him. The football team's put his trust in him. And he is making plays. And so it's going to be okay with Adam Randall, the wide receiver that's just, filling a spot. But we know he's not just filling a spot. It's bigger than that. And we know Clemson needs it. Clemson has a good group of guys. They do. They have been dealing with some injuries at the running back position. Jarvis Green's out for the season. Jay Haynes still recovering from ACL. Not hearing much about him right now. David Ezio-Mume and Gideon Davidson are working their way into that rotation, and you will hear them and see them a lot as well in 2025. But the big number one running back for Clemson starting this season, and you're not going to be disappointed, is Adam Randall. Can he do that against LSU's defense? Can he break those big chunk plays and be a difference maker? Well, we'll have to wait and see how he can do against elite level competition, but he has elite level competition at practice. So Clemson's defense is not some, pushover, some average defense out there. They've got a lot of talent on their side of the ball as well. This is no longer just an experiment. They made this change from the middle of December to now. I mean, he's close to 7-8 months now of being a running back. So it's not just an experiment or a transition or just learning the ropes. He is ready at this point. Defenses are going to have to key on many things with Clemson's offense. How many years has it been since you've been this confident about a Clemson offense and the depth that they have? Can you name a handful of wide receivers that you trust? Yes. Can you name more than 6 or 7 offensive linemen that you trust? Yes. Can you name 3 tight ends that you trust? Yes. Can you name 3 running backs that you feel okay with, or at least think that they're getting better? Yes. Yes, you can. I mean, this team has the most depth that we've seen in years. And on the radio, Kwok mentioned at lunchtime today that he feels that the wide receiver group is probably the best group they've ever had, even with the championship teams. Now, those teams may have had the better number 1 wide receiver and number 2 wide receiver. Those teams may have had more elite top level wide receivers. But as a group as a whole, this team has got a really good group of wide receivers. And that is going to force the defense to key on other players. The defense is going to have to focus on a lot of different weapons that Clemson has, including Cade Klubnik, because Cade can run the ball. But Adam Randall throwing in an extra set of frustration to the defense, tell me his versatility is not going to force mismatches. He's not having to do it alone, because you've got all these other pieces out there that the defense cannot ignore. So if Adam Randall is the guy that they ignore, good luck, because I like that. I want that. And if he's not the guy that they ignore, then that's okay too, because then you got Wesco, Moore, Williams, Brown, Benton Kerr's having a great fall as well. So there's a lot of other weapons too. This is a stacked offense for Clemson. This is a really, really good offense. And Adam Randall is demanding respect in spring, in postseason last year, and now in the fall. Dabo said he had some huge runs. He said it was really awesome to watch him play. And he said that Adam Randall had a great day. To me, speaking of explosiveness, you got to love it. We want Clemson to be more explosive, and that's what we're loving here. Speaking of explosive, Cade Klubnik also had a good scrimmage as well. We'll talk about it. But before we get into the next segment, I've got something special for you diehard Tiger fans out there. If you want even more Clemson content, join the Locked On Clemson Insider Program. You can get one-on-one access to me through direct text message, through subtext. You can send your questions to mailbag episodes and be part of the conversation with me all season long. There's even a 14-day free trial, so check it out. There's a description there's a link in the description, so check it out and come join me. As summer winds down, there's something nice about getting back into the routine you love, and Wayfair makes it easy to set yourself up for the season ahead. From bedding to linens to storage solutions for every room, Wayfair is your one-stop shop to refresh your home. If you need to refresh or if you need to just start from scratch, I was over in Lawrenceville this week doing some flight training, and I stayed with my cousin, and she used Wayfair for everything. She has a downstairs apartment. You might have seen the different background. She furnished everything from Wayfair, and even the big stuff came from there. It was kind of crazy. I thought it was just little things you get from there. No, it's like an entire kitchen, living room, bedroom, bathroom. They got all kinds of stuff that you can use and set yourself up and reset your rooms or start from scratch. Get organized, get refreshed, get back into the routine for much, much less. Head over to wayfair.com right now. Shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Adam Randall's not the only guy that had a big second scrimmage, final scrimmage today. So the other guy is another one that you definitely want to have a big game. And we heard the last scrimmage on Saturday, there was a lot of mistakes and, they're trying to work through things. Cade Klubnik. All right. This is his big year. This has got to be it for him. We were told from Dabo that he walked in there, went 5 of 10 passing. Which, you think, okay, 5 of 10, 50%, not that big a deal, but 5 of 10 with 4 of those 5 completed passes going for touchdowns. Dabo Swinney also called it awesome. He said they were wanting one more to make it 6 of 10, but he was okay with that. And he felt like Cade Klubnik had a great day at scrimmage. Clemson's QB1 sounds like he's very much locked in, locked on, and ready to light it up week 1 against LSU. To me, this is a warning shot to not just LSU fans, not just LSU, the football team, not just the opponents, but everyone. Heisman voters, everyone. This is a warning shot from Cade Klubnik. I think it's calculated. I think it's purposeful, deliberate, whatever you want to call it. It's not shocking to me that now in his final season, in his final scrimmage leading up to the big game of the week 1, he comes out and he just absolutely torches 5 of 10, 4 touchdowns, being sharp and being ready to go and setting the tone. You got to love this from quarterback 1. I mean, we also heard that Christopher Vizzina did well as well. So both quarterbacks who, kind of frustrated Dabo in the red zone last Saturday seemed to have kind of wiped that clean and moved on to the next thing and had a huge day today. Setting the tone, making it known nationally to the public that, hey, we had great days and we are ready. We are locked in. LSU's defense is aggressive. LSU has brought in a ton of new pieces in their secondary. They've got a bunch of younger guys in their defensive line, but extremely talented. Their linebackers are probably some of the best in the country, and in Weeks and Perkins, and that's where their strength is. So for me, if you stack it up, huge strength for LSU is the linebackers. They're going to stress out the offensive line and Cade. They're also going to try to get out and disguise and get out into coverage as well. So they're so talented and versatile that you don't really know. It's going to be hard to key in on what they're exactly doing with them. The defensive line is new. You know, you got Pyburn from Florida, who, if you ask Florida fans, was demanding starting time, demanding specific kind of playing time. He was being very diva-ish in his demands, and also wanted more money from the NIL. So he walked away. Actually, they wanted to work out a deal with him, but he still walked away. So a little bit of drama from their left defensive end. And then, Patrick Payton, I've already told you, the guy got paid from Florida State and then basically slacked off for a whole year. That's my opinion on it. Nobody told me that. That's just what I saw. So they got defensive ends that need to prove that they're not just a fluke or a one-year wonder. They have defensive interior linemen that are legit, in my opinion. And a few transfer guys in there as well. But new faces in the mix for the defensive line. Linebackers are the ones that you trust the most. And then the secondary, in my opinion, they don't want to admit this, but the secondary is the weakness. The biggest weakness. There's a lot of brand new guys in that group. From the ACC transfers, whatever. I mean, they're all the best. If you ask them, they're all the best portal players that were out there. But what does that really mean? I'll tell you right now, though, Cade Klubnik is fully developed. He's ready to go. This is his contract year. This is his final season with Clemson. And he put everybody on notice today to say, hey, I'm locked in. I'm ready. He has the weapons. We talked about it. He has the weapons to do this. Christian Bentancur is coming on strong at the tight end position, but you still have OPH and Ian Shefflin and Josh Sapp. I mean, you have 3-4 guys that you are trusting at the tight end position. Wide receivers, you have 5 guys that you trust. Running back, we know Adam Randall, huge X factor. This offense is as loaded as they've ever been in the Dabo Swinney era. I would even argue even more than in the past in championship game rosters, just because of the depth. There's a rotation of guys at every skill position that you're okay with. And Cade Klubnik being at his best now, being in rhythm, finishing drives, getting touchdowns. I told you this yesterday. Touchdowns, not field goals. Touchdowns, not field goals. Touchdowns, not sacks. Touchdowns, not penalties. He got those today. He did exactly what we said he should do. He needed to do. He's in rhythm. He's locked in. Garrett Riley's got to be smiling from ear to ear. The chemistry is obviously there. Clemson is more dangerous than they've ever been in the vertical throws, in the intermediate routes, and in the red zone. Dabo said that he had a pretty good day and he was awesome. I mean, what's pretty good? 4 out of 5 is touchdowns. He mentioned that they were able to continue maintaining the offensive flow. He also threw in some discussion about Walker Parks. You know, our friends over at the Clemson Insider did mention Walker Parks was dealing with an injury, kind of worried us a little bit. No, he's fine. He'll be back. He'll be ready to go. The right guard's okay. So your most tenured offensive lineman, okay, he's banged up. He didn't play in this scrimmage, but he's okay. They did that without that, but they have a rotation of Thurman, Sadler, and Sewell as well. I'm telling you, it goes. I just named off 3 guys that aren't even starters, really. And so Clemson has the most depth that we've seen in years at all the positions on offense, and you love it. You got to love it. This could be a huge strength for Clemson to kind of take another step forward. And they were a top, 15 offense last year. They're going to take the next step forward. Believe me that. And on the other side of the ball, Clemson's defensive ends. The defensive ends that we were worried about. The defensive ends that were part of the problem in that rush defense and not stopping everything because all you had was TJ Parker. The defensive ends are building out and looking like they're ready to go as well. The backups, one specific backup we'll talk about, is a big reason why I love what I'm hearing about Clemson's defensive ends as well. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing your long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. You know, yesterday I told you about the MVP race with Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Josh Allen plus 600 right now. That's the one I'm going with because I seen him on Hard Knocks and I really like that. But also, I'm looking at the AP NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, Ashton Jeanty, Travis Hunter. These guys coming from college now. We saw them last year, Cam Ward, Omarion Hampton. And by the way, did you see the preseason game with Travion Henderson? I mean, you got to like him as well, but he's plus 1,600. So go check it out over on FanDuel.com or the FanDuel app. Visit the FanDuel app today. Start planning your futures bets now because Futures Day, August 26th, is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. All right, man, this has been an exciting show. I hope that you've enjoyed it so far because we're talking about actual football. We're talking about the scrimmage, the last scrimmage, and there's been a lot of good news across the board for Clemson so far. One good news is, hey, those injury questions you were worried about, those are behind us, and those were just minor, and we'll move on from those. The other thing is you're unknown at your running back position. You're starting to get more relief from your field general and your quarterback. You're starting to feel good about. And the other big question mark going into 2025 was, how are they going to fix that rush defense? And everybody gets in the comments and says, well, Morgan, it's still the same team that lost 3 SEC games and lost an LSU game and couldn't stop the run against anybody, couldn't tackle at all. Well, I'm telling you right now, Tom Allen is fixing a lot. And you say, oh, well, just an old guy at the defensive coordinator position can't do that. You don't know football if you don't think a defensive coordinator can't fix a defense. I mean, that's what you do. When your defense is bad, what do? You add the talent. Yeah, you add in new talent. But also, a defensive coordinator can reset a defense, can fix a defense. The ones that know what they're doing, and Tom Allen definitely knows what he's doing, can get Clemson back to what we are used to. But the infusion of talent or the development of talent also adds to that. Infusion of talent, you have Will Heldt. Will Heldt is there. He wasn't there last season. So you say, well, Morgan, they're going to be exactly like they were last season. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. Because they've got Will Heldt. That's a new player added to the mix. That wasn't just the best player in the transfer portal. That wasn't just, somebody who ran out of time at their previous university. This guy was one of the best players, if not the best player on his defense on a bad team, but still the best player on his team. And he was one of the better players in his conference from Purdue. And Texas A&M wanted him. Florida State wanted him. There was a lot of money being thrown around. Clemson landed him. Clemson, the team that doesn't get transfer portal guys, Clemson landed him. The coach that doesn't like the transfer portal, Dabo Swinney, landed. They've added in Will Heldt, not just some what-if guy or not just some average dude that ran out of time. No, Will Heldt, a great player that's ready to be on a great team. So you have TJ Parker on one side, you have Will Heldt on the other side. But the big question that we had on the radio, that we talked about on Road Rage with Walt Daptula is, who's behind him? Those guys got to get a breather. They got to get some water. Maybe they are out for a couple plays due to some tweaking of whatever. You never know what could happen in football. What about those guys behind him? Well, we're hearing Darian Mayo is a guy in the mix, but we're also hearing defensive in-depth with Jahiem Lawson, Shaq Lawson's little brother. Shaq Lawson, the superstar guy, the guy that's been in the NFL for forever now, it seems like. Jahiem Lawson has put in the work. He's got the pedigree. He knows what it takes to get to the NFL. His brother is in the NFL. And we're hearing that he is emerging now as a number 1, not a number 2, not a number 3. He has done what he needs to do to be a number 1 in the group. So Clemson has continued to develop, and that's what Dabo Swinney loves. Not just cherry picking and getting all these guys with money or from the transfer portal, even though he did do that, but just still sticking to his key core value of developing from within, recruiting the guys, building them up. And this is an in-state guy, a hometown guy. You got to back him. You got to want to see him do well. And if Dabo Swinney is saying that he's a one, he's a one. Lawson's had his best camp yet. He's at his highest level possible, and he's earning starter level trust and reps with the team. We know LSU's high-powered offense. They are going to come at Clemson hard. We know they have a ton of skill players that scares you. I love their running backs. They got 3 of them that scare me. They had 4, but the 4th guy, just happened to have some people stay at his apartment or house that he shouldn't have. We'll go into that, but they got 3 guys that scare you. They've got a bunch of wide receivers that scare you as well. They have a tight end that really scares me. They have weapons, and they have Garrett Nussmeier, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, along with Cade Klubnik. Maybe even better than Cade Klubnik, because I do believe that Garrett Nussmeier will probably get drafted higher than Cade Klubnik. Unless this game just proves me completely wrong. My initial preseason assumption is Garrett Nussmeier is a better NFL-ready quarterback than Cade Klubnik, but Cade Klubnik may be on a better overall team than and in a better situation playing at home than Garrett Nussmeier. So LSU has a high-powered offense. What have I been saying about how you attack that? To me, you don't let Garrett Nussmeier sit back and pick you apart. You cannot. You can have Wade Woodaz out in coverage. You can have Wade Woodaz blitzing in. You can have Sammy Brown blitzing in. You can have your cornerbacks and your nickel blitz in, whatever. But the key is to get penetration with your base. Your base being Heldt, Parker, Woods, Capehart, but your base also being rotating in with those other guys. You can't have a huge drop-off when you put in Lawson, and when you put in Mayo, and when you put in Burley, when you put in Steph Green. You can't have a huge drop-off. Clemson did have a drop-off. They did have some gaps, some players who just talent-wise were a step down. No disrespect to those players, but Clemson has continued to develop these guys. A lot of the guys, same guys, but they're getting better. LSU's going to come at you. Clemson needs to have fresh legs if they're going to be as aggressive as I think they need to be. And they need to get penetration off the edge from their base. The defensive ends and the rotation of defensive ends is going to be critical to how well Clemson can execute, be aggressive, and keep Garrett Nussmeier guessing, but frustrating Garrett Nussmeier. Not even if you don't get to Garrett Nussmeier, you have to be able to frustrate him and affect his bubble. This kind of deep rotation that Clemson has built out is showing good signs of what Dabo Swinney wants to do, which is develop. Who else had an awesome camp? We heard awesome, 5 times, I think. Awesome, really, I know 3. Okay, so we had, well, let me just think off the top of my head. We had Adam Randall, awesome. We had Jahiem Lawson, awesome. We had Cade Klubnik, awesome. We had CV, awesome. Strozier, he said, awesome. So we're hearing a lot of really good things from now the cap off, the final preseason game, if you will, the last scrimmage of the fall, finished up, wrapped up exactly how you want to hear it. Injuries, all good. Players performing at their best, taking that next step. Backup guys fighting for trust. Everything sounds great to me. I'm hyped for that first game of the season against LSU. I can't go out there and win the game for them, but I think Dabo has done what he needs to do, coaching staff-wise, personnel-wise, development-wise, to get his team at the best possible, position. And they'll just have to fight it out when the game comes on August 30th. So I know you're amped about it. I'm amped about it. Thank you so much for making Locked On Clemson your first listen of the day. For your second listen, don't forget to check out my friend Brian Smith over at the Portal Show. He has the latest rumors, portal entries, signings. Be the most informed fan of the changes in the college football landscape. Find the portal on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hey, that's it for this week. We're coming up on next week, and this is next week is the last week without college football. I'm loving it. To my everydayers, hey, I'm thanking you so much for hanging with me all the way to the end of the show. If you're still here, if you're new, thank you so much for making it to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week, but we'll see you at the top of the hill.